All right, some of you guys often hear this thought about do your own research, and there's sort of proponents or opponents on either side of this. You know, people that did their own research, end up in the graveyard, or people that did their own research died suddenly a little less often, or something like that. The truth is, there's probably something in the middle. I think as it stands today, our healthcare system has a tremendous amount of conflict of interest. Here's the latest case in point: the American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending against children with diabetes, whether type 1 or type 2, attempt a low carbohydrate diet. And the thought behind that is, well, it's unfair to restrict kids from, certain types of food. And, you think, or it's unsustainable, which, has someone who has been on a low carbohydrate diet now for well over a decade without any problem. I don't think it's unsustainable. Not certainly, no one's saying all kids should be on a carnivore diet, but I mean, certainly to remove sugary foods, to remove starchy junk food, ultra processed foods, is not a problem. If you were to eat a lot of meat and animal products and maybe have a small amount of fruit and vegetables, and that would still be, by most accounts, a low carb diet in many cases. That certainly is sustainable and certainly can be a long time thing. I think most people don't have any problem with that. Most people that have done low carb are able to do it quite well. Now, maybe there's times they come off it periodically, or they're 90% or 80%, but that's still very, very sustainable. And it's like, what are these people missing out as a kid? Are you missing out on, because you can't eat all the other junk that everybody else is eating, you're missing out on your opportunities of life, the opportunity to get heart disease and depression and arthritis and autoimmune disease and a bloated gut? Is that what we're trying to protect them from, so they don't get those opportunities? So I think, I will tell you, as a physician, you have to be your greatest advocate. You've got to do your own research. You got to understand what you're dealing with. I know for some people it's a totally new language, and I think the physician should be your advocate, should be your ally, but they're not your boss. They work for you. Remember that. If anyone is giving you advice, you put that into whatever makes sense for you. And this is what informed consent is about. It should be a partnership. There are times when I gave the best advice I thought I could, and people disagree with me, and they chose to go down a different route, and whether that was better or worse for them or not, it was their decision, and that's how this has to be. I would say, as a child, if I were a parent of a child with diabetes, I would certainly look at carbohydrate reduction for that child. It is so much easier to have stable blood glucose in that situation. Carbohydrates, particularly highly refined or very starchy carbohydrates, sugary things, make it almost impossible to have normal blood glucose control. It's extremely difficult. And as a child, particularly a type 1 who's trying to figure out insulin on top of that, that's just an absolute nightmare. So the short answer is, don't completely discount what some experts or some people that have more expertise than you have to say, but at the same time, don't completely outsource all your health to those folks, because you're going to end up likely with a suboptimal result. Okay. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys come into situations where you were given bad advice by a health authority and you ended up doing something different and you had a better outcome? All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. You guys take care.